And Jared is now on Otter Rock. And that rock is called Otter Rock because you ought to not be there. If you're there, you're definitely not square. And they, my friends, are not square. They're where they ought to not be. And that could be there for a long, long time. Anyhow. We're going to have to do some figuring here. Well, anyhow, here's Aaron getting off the rock. Going to skip across the river. And upstream, we have a paddle floating lonely on down the river. So it looks like they're upstream without at least one paddle. And now we got Jared up here. And this morning, when we were in the huddle, let's remember the huddle.
Ready? I'm gonna need a little bit more attention when I'm talking. All right? I'm gonna give you guys the best day that I possibly can. We're gonna go through that.
You know, we had the huddle, we talked about it, and we're kind of getting back to the point of thinking about what was in the huddle. We might need to do another huddle, a little hustle bustle, get off of this rock. Redneck has seen this many a times. So he kind of knows what to do here. He's going to take a look at his situation and look at his extra help. And then he's going to look at what's happening right here and say, for the love of God. They are celebrating. They're giving the gang signs and the rock and roll and the shaka bra and the peace signs. And Jared is saying, for the love of God. Remember what we talked about in that huddle this morning? You know what we talked about in that huddle? Let's reiterate the huddle.
I'm gonna need a little bit more attention when I'm talking.
And Larry is gonna pull some rope out of the bag. And he's gonna get his rope ready to throw that rope. You know, he's gonna get his belt off because we're probably gonna need to do a little bit of figuration right here to get y'all unstuck off of that Otter Rock where you ought to not be. Okay, so we got a rope thrown, and you know, Larry's a much better pitcher than he is a catcher. And actually, Jared caught that rope. He's quite a catcher. And throwing it back around and going to put his beaner around the rope and beaner the rope to the tube and beaner it to this tube, and everybody's watching in sheer intent of what is going to happen here. Okay, so they're going to pull people across. And they're going to hold it up. I guess we have a raft and it's decided to go on through and under the rope. You'll have that, but now we have another one doing a scuba dive all the way back out and around and get over there. Well, that one did not quite get the ride that he wanted to, and he is a very good swimmer. Clutching to the rock. A very nice swim over the shoreline. Alright, and Larry is rounding it up, getting ready to lasso it across the river. And once again, Jared being a great catcher, catching that rope. And get it wound up, and I'm going to send this one now. Get ready. Get ready for the pull. And one more, rolling the rope up. One more through to get our last guest out. And again, Jared being the best catcher that he possibly could be. Getting that rope. Getting wound up. And this young little soul holding on to that rope. And we got one more to pull. Evo. Whoop. And now we have an empty boat stuck on the Otter Rock where we ought to not have been. It's still kind of full of water and it's going to be really heavy. A lot easier to get off of there. And now Jared is free. He thought they would never go. And they did, but now he's got to figure out how to get them back. And remember the huddle time, guys. Remember that bonding time of huddling up and talking about the talk. And now it looks like Jared is actually just going to leave him. And I guess Redneck is going to have a very, very, very heavy boat. Hey! You thought they would never go! Let's remember huddle time!
A little bit already. I'm gonna need a little bit more attention when I'm talking. All right. I'm gonna give you guys the best day that I possibly can. We're going